Hey folks, it's Ray from DCRainmaker.com here to talk about GoPro's newest camera, the GoPro Hero6 Black. Now this camera builds upon the Hero 5 that they launched last year, the Hero 5 Black in particular they launched last year, and built it not only in features, but also in price. This baby here comes in at $499 US, which is $100 more than the Hero 5 Black, which they're keeping around, which is $399 US, and it's more expensive than the Hero 5 Session, which they're keeping around at $299 US, and then finally there is the Hero Session, that's the smaller one without the 4K and all that jazz, even cheaper than all that goodness. But this is all about the Hero 5 Black and unboxing of it. Now I do want to point out that I have a huge in-depth review down in the description right there and the link there. Go and whack that up because that includes everything from like sample footage of this. I'll give you the raw files that you can look at. So if you want to play around with that kind of stuff, you can. And there's tons more videos and a ton more text, way more than this video could ever possibly cover. And this is really about the unboxing experience. I'm going to talk in a separate video that I've got linked somewhere on the screen there about kind of all the new features and how well they've worked for me over the last couple of weeks. While I'm unboxing this unit here, I've also had another unit that I've been using for a bit of time now. And so really cool stuff. But this is just an unboxing, and there's also some really cool sample stuff that I've shot as well up there, kind of like a montage video that I put together over the last couple of weeks. Anyways, with that, let's get started. Rip off this plastic, get on going. And once we're done unboxing, I'm gonna do size and weight comparison against a whole crap ton of other cameras sitting right over there. So, boom. Hero 6 Black. As you can see here, it looks almost identical to the Hero 5 Black, and because it is identical from the exterior standpoint, the only thing you will notice is the little etching of Hero 5 Black just below that there that you can't even see when you have that frame case on. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and open up the box on the bottom right here. So here we go. There we go, slide that little blue thing off there. And then pull it out. So we're gonna go and try to unbox this now. What is the dealio here? Okay, so I'm definitely entering this from the wrong direction. Just gonna keep on pulling until things all come out. So there we go. Down. We're just gonna get this camera to fall at the bottom, kind of the important part. That probably wasn't supposed to happen that way. This is really in there pretty stable. I'm trying not to destroy the outside of the box so I can take pictures of it later on for my full in-depth review, and that just went out the window. Boom! Yahtzee. So there we go. That is the Hero 6 box for you in all of its glory, ready to roll. Here's all the goodness inside of it. So first off there, we have a basically quick start kind of charging guide, how to use things. Super straightforward. Again, it's really a basic camera in a lot of ways, so you don't really need a super long guide there. We then have the important safety instructions guide. Very kind of usual standard stuff. If you kill yourself doing something super cool, it is totally your fault. Just make sure you got it on video so that your friends and family can make some money or something later on. Some GoPro stickers. We have a USB-C charging cable, regular USB on this side that you know and love from years now, but USB-C on this side here. GoPro added this in the Hero 5 lineup last year. It's kind of cool to see this. It's just kind of standard across the board in a lot of devices now. We then have two sticky mounts. We have a flat one that's flush against the table there, and we have a slightly curved one that's ideal for helmets. So you can put it on helmets or any sort of like curved surface, not even on the front of a car hood. And then finally, the GoPro Hero 6 battery. This is identical to the Hero 5 battery. Also, you can use third-party batteries as well, which is cool. I validated that already in the other Hero 6 camera I have. Oh, and then by the way, we've got the Hero 6 itself, which is probably what you want to know more about. So, one cool trick is that this black piece right there is actually a stand. So if you remove it from this box, you can sit it there by itself. It's a stand you can use for random things. Otherwise, you can go ahead and lift the rubber cover up like that, and then just push the whole camera forward, and it slides out, and you can keep this thing around for whatever you want. This is the camera, so what you've been waiting for. Now it's sitting in its frame case there, so I can go ahead and just pop that out, unhook it, and then push it straight out just like that. And there we go. So as I mentioned before, the only way you can tell this camera is a Hero 6 is by that tiny little etching right there, Hero 6. That's it. And now what's been really cool about this is for me in the last couple of weeks, I've been able to use this everywhere without anyone knowing because it looks identical in every other way possible to a Hero 5. Inside, this is where the battery goes. So you just open that up right there. You can see to take the battery, slide it on in like that. You put a SD card, micro SD card to be precise, in that, and then you're good to go. On the back here, we have the sticker. You don't always have a picture of a scuba diver there for the rest of your camera. See if we can get it off. There we go. So put the sticker over there for now. And that's it. A couple cool notes about this is that this front lens right here, see if I can do this. It's not coming off at the moment, but this actually comes off. And what's really interesting about this is if this comes off, it's still waterproof. This whole thing is already waterproofed to 10 meters, 33 feet, but this is still waterproofed here. Not quite as deep, just 10 feet, but if you're snorkeling or something and this somehow comes off, I've had the Hero 5 and it's never come off by itself accidentally. As you saw there, it's pretty tough to undo. On the side here, we have this other door. This is your USB-C charging port, your micro HDMI right there. That closes up. And on this side here, you have your mode button for turning it on. So I just go and press this mode button like that. And then you'll see on the back, it turns on. You can see it's already showing my hand there. And then it should go into the menu to kind of set up for the first run experience. So it's got the GoPro there. It's likely going to ask me for language. I'm going to choose English. Nope, not French. So I could do that if I wanted to. And then I'm going to go ahead and agree to this. Turn on the GPS, use the GPS for doing overlays later on, things like speed and distance and so on. So it's pretty cool stuff to keep that on. And then in this case, it's giving me a warning about low battery, or sorry, it's just actually a fake warning. There we go. And then it's telling me the mode settings and how to operate things. And turning on ProTune, just kind of giving a quick run through of the settings here and how it all works so you can use it more quickly later on. Preferences, just kind of walking through everything, media and so on. I'm just going to tap this real quick and actually show it to you for real. And then connect. This is how you set up Wi-Fi to your mobile app. So if I have my phone here, I can set things up and go ahead and download stuff directly from the camera. In this case, I'm gonna go and choose to cancel that for right now. Click OK. I'm gonna set the date here. So today is... And in this case, I am good to go. So you can see I can change resolution on the bottom by just clicking the res button there. I can go to 4K, and now I'm at 60 frames per second, which of course is the big deal on this camera. And so let's talk about that for a second. 60 frames per second is a thing that everyone's gonna be like clamoring about, and every single PR thing you see and every single story you see will talk about 60 frames per second. And yes, that is great, and I wanted 60 frames per second more than anyone else out there. But after using this for 2 weeks, that isn't actually the coolest feature. The coolest feature far and away is A, low light performance, and B, dynamic range of the videos that you shoot. And I'm not talking HDR mode, which they have now for photos as well, but I'm talking the dynamic range of colors that you see on the camera, straight out of the camera, whether it be for photos or for video. It's mind-boggling. I'm gonna stick this picture up right now that I took last week in the desert. And this is a straight out of the camera, not modified in any way, not an HDR shot, just straight as is. And that is stunning. Like that's for in the desert where things are usually kind of plain and boring looking from a color standpoint. That easily beat my iPhone 7 from a color perspective. Again, looking at some quick footage I took at night, just sitting on the Las Vegas Strip, things looked incredible. I mean, just look at that. That's a time lapse I did in 4K, straight out of the camera, not ProTune mode, nothing else, and it looks awesome. And again, here's some footage cycling as well through some trees. Really looks really nice. And again, these are just straight out of camera. No ProTune, no nothing. As is really cool stuff. But I talk about all that stuff in a separate video up there, so I'm not going to get into that right now. For now, we're going to talk about size and weight comparison. So I've got my handy dandy scale right here. Let's move this stuff out of the way temporarily. So here we are at 0 grams. We're going to start off with the Hero 6 Black without the frame, just kind of the native camera itself, 118 grams. Again, this is fully waterproofed by itself. If we were to put the cage on there and, well, take off this little mount thing, because a lot of times that's something that you have separate on whatever you're mounting it to. You can see it comes at 144 grams, so there is that. Let's go ahead and turn the Wayback Machine on. Here is the Hero 5 Black with the same frame shell, also 143 grams, so 1 gram less or 1 gram more for the Hero 6 Black. Again, they're using a different graphics processing unit, the GoPro GP1, and some other internals that have been changed a little bit. For example, a dual Wi-Fi setup in there to do faster transfers. Again, a lot of features that aren't really talked about in the 4K 60 thing that everyone's caught up in, but are behind the scenes that just make it so much smoother. Next, we've got the old Hero4 Silver. I don't have a case with this, but you can just kind of see, again, 83 grams. Certainly lighter than this, but by itself, but this obviously is not waterproof. waterproofed. Then we've got the Garmin Virb Ultra 30, which I thought was kind of one of the most competitive units to the Hero 5 Black. And for some sport type things, it was a better option, to be honest, though not waterproof by default. You need to put the case on. This is just a frame, so it's not waterproofed. Natively, the camera chugs in at 88 grams with the frame there. It's coming at 104 grams. I can tell you right now, it's a bunch more if you put the whole waterproof case on there. I'll put that number on the screen. I just didn't take it with me. Here we have the Yi 4K Plus edition. So this is their newest camera that came out sometime this past winter. This does have 4K 60 on it, so it's something that a lot of people would compare it to. In this case here, it is 174 grams. Again, this is a fully waterproof setup there. If you look at the Hero 6 Black, 4K, 144, again, 175, 174. So this is a heck of a lot heavier, and I can certainly feel that as well. It's definitely heavier. If we go move that out of the way, we then have the Sony. This is the FDR X3000. This has optical image stabilization, so a lot of people will compare this to the Hero 6 Black as well. So the whole thing in the waterproof setup, or the fully waterproof setup, the deep waterproof setup, is 195 grams. If we crack this case open right here, there we go. Just the camera itself is 114 grams. And again, this is known for its optical stabilization. The Hero 6 Black does not have optical stabilization in it, but does have better stabilization. There's no question about that. Again, much better stabilization than the Hero 5 Black does, and you can see that in some of my comparison shots. Again, up on the screen there, I do side by side with the Hero 6 Black and the Hero 5 Black and a bunch of other cameras to show you exactly what that looks like. So I think we're not at all almost out of cameras. We've got the Hero 5 Session camera. So in this case, floating in at 72 grams, so it's pretty darn light, the lightest of the bunch for a fully waterproof camera. And then because I had it handy, the Garmin Virb 360 camera at 161 grams. This is also totally waterproof, as is. So I do not have the GoPro Fusion camera, which is their 360-degree camera. That's coming up a little bit later on this year, but this is sort of the standard right now to beat in any case for the 360 camera setup. You can check out all the information about that somewhere on my YouTube channel. So there you go, a look at cameras. I think we've got enough of them here. From a size standpoint, as I mentioned before, these are identical. There's no difference there. If we look at something like the Virb Ultra 30, you'll see that this is certainly bigger, but it's also totally waterproof. Once you add the case onto this thing is a bit of a beast compared to this. And there's a lot of other differences from an image quality standpoint. I would have said the Hero 5 and the Virb Ultra 30 last year were very, very similar from an image quality standpoint, mostly because they were using the same chipset. This year, though, this easily kicks this thing's ass from an image quality standpoint. On the flip side, this easily kicks this thing's ass from a sports and sensors and data overlay standpoint. It's nowhere near the same capabilities. This is just far, far better in that area. So you got to kind of decide what you want out of a camera. All around use, though, I'm going to tend to use this almost every single. With that, thanks for watching. Go and like that like button down the bottom, as well as the subscribe button. Also, if you hit that little ding dong thing in the corner there, that bell that you see, you'll get notified the second videos go live. This week has been a pretty busy week for new videos going live. We've got more stuff coming up over the next little while, and I'll probably drop some more Hero 6 videos over the next little while as well. Likely some Karma videos too, because Karma got a bunch of updates here that you can check out. So have a good one.